What are the raised dots on debit cards? The raised dots on debit cards serve a crucial purpose, particularly for individuals who are blind or visually impaired. These dots are part of a system known as Braille labels, a tactile writing system used by people with visual impairments to read through touch. The implementation of Braille on debit cards involves the use of raised dots that represent different characters, allowing those with visual challenges to identify and comprehend the information present on the card. Veridian, among other institutions, has recognized the importance of inclusivity and accessibility. As a result, they offer a Braille option on all of their Visa debit, credit, and ATM cards. This thoughtful feature enables individuals who are blind or visually impaired to independently manage their finances and engage in electronic transactions with ease. The raised dots essentially serve as a tactile guide, providing a tangible way for individuals with visual impairments to identify and differentiate various elements on their debit cards, such as the card number, expiration date, and other pertinent details. Why are bank cards embossed? Bank cards are embossed to create imprinted or stamped payment details, including the card number, cardholder's name, and expiry date, which were traditionally used for manual processing before the advent of electronic banking. Bank cards, including debit, credit, and ATM cards, are embossed to incorporate imprinted or stamped payment details on the card surface. This embossing serves a historical purpose, dating back to a time when electronic banking was not as prevalent, and manual processing of transactions was the norm. The embossed details on a card typically include the card number, cardholder's name, and the expiration date. These details are raised above the card's surface, creating a tactile element that was traditionally used for transaction processing. In the past, when a card was presented for a payment or transaction, merchant banks would take impressions of these embossed details using special devices. These imprints were then used to process transactions manually. While electronic banking has largely replaced manual processing, the practice of embossing cards persists. The embossed elements provide a tangible way to identify and authenticate the card, and they also serve as a backup in case electronic methods are unavailable or fail. Do all debit cards have raised numbers? Debit cards may have their numbers printed on either the front or back, with a common practice of embossing, printing with raised type, on the card's face. Not all debit cards have raised numbers, but the presence and location of the card number depend on the card issuer and the card design. In most cases, debit card numbers are embossed, meaning they are printed with raised type on the face of the card. However, there is variability in how different issuers choose to display this information. Whether on the front or back, the embossed numbers are part of the card's design and serve practical purposes. The raised type not only aids in identifying the card visually but also provides a tactile element that can be useful in situations where visual confirmation is challenging. This tactile feature can be especially important for individuals with visual impairments. It's important to note that advancements in card technology have introduced variations. Some debit cards now feature flat, unembossed designs, with the card number and other details printed smoothly on the card's surface. This design choice aims to provide a sleek and modern appearance while maintaining the functional aspects of the card. What is the difference between embossed and unembossed cards? The primary difference lies in the surface texture. Embossed cards have raised numbers, letters, and symbols, while unembossed cards feature a smooth, flat surface. The distinction between embossed and unembossed cards primarily revolves around the surface texture and design of the card. An embossed card, such as a typical Visa card, features raised numbers, letters, and symbols. These elements are physically elevated above the card surface, creating a tactile quality that aids in visually identifying and feeling the card details. On the other hand, an unembossed card deviates from this traditional design. Instead of raised elements, an unembossed card boasts a smooth, flat surface. The card number, cardholder's name, and other details are printed directly onto the card, creating a sleek and modern appearance. The choice between embossed and unembossed designs is often influenced by aesthetic preferences, technological advancements, and evolving industry trends. While embossed cards have been the standard for many years, unembossed cards are gaining popularity for their contemporary and minimalist look. It's worth noting that, until recently, unembossed Visa cards were less common in the United States and were primarily issued in other countries. However, as the financial industry continues to innovate, unembossed designs are becoming more prevalent, offering consumers a choice between the traditional raised surface and the smooth, flat aesthetic.